Hello, welcome to another video. Me and my Todd again. So, in this one, I've got to get that ceiling in the corridor repaired and get the caves all set up, ready for the guests that we've got coming. I'm on with this now. The repair is perfect. I didn't do anything over the weekend. To be honest, I couldn't be bothered. So, I now need to measure the distance from this side to this side to get this piece of metal cut to the correct size. Right. I'll measure 12 times, I think, because it's me, and then get the correct one, I'm sure. This will also tell you how wide this area is as well. Right, go right to that point. There's actually a mark on the wall that's written, it says 95. And yes, it is. Oh, that's awesome. So the previous guy who did the plasterboarding, he actually wrote the marks on the wall. Which is absolutely perfect. That's it. I've only just spotted that. Right, there you go. Cut. I did cut it slightly wrong here, but I've just fixed it. That's perfectly in place. Go me. Okay. Now the original bar seems to be bowed a little bit. I'm sure once it's all put up, I see. Yeah, once it's got the weight on it, it'll come down as well. Right. Step one. Now, because of the angles, I need to decide which one I'm going to use as my straight edge. Not this one. This is they're all at a sort of like a crooked angle to each other. Yeah. Oh, I just need to take this little bit off here as well first. I'm not sure which one to use as the straight edge. Which one? I'm going to go with this one. This is the longest span, so I'll go with that one, and that'll be my first edge. So as long as I use the manufactured cut edge on the plasterboard, and I go from there to take my measurements, it all should work out. 95. So I'm guessing that this has now been all been finished now in a dead parallel lines, but obviously I can't take that for granted. But I know that this end is 95 and that end is 95. But I now need to get the angles and everything, so I'll get very, very confused very, very quickly for me. I'm not 100% sure the best way to measure this, but I'm going to do it. Because this is not a right angle at this point, and it is not a right angle at that point, and I don't have any way to check the angle. So I've taken the measurements and I've drawn a diagonal line. Now this will be the waste side and that'll be the good side, so I'm doing that angle first and then I'm going to cut that way. There's a slight bow in this plasterboard as well, but that'll go away. And I actually think potentially this plasterboard's actually thinner than what's already up there, so that's not going to look so pretty, but I'm sure something can be done. I thought I did. So I'm just pressed a little bit harder than I really want to, which potentially means I could move this. I have got some clamps and I was tempted to use them, but no mind, look, I'd do it wrong and puncture the board. Right, let's see. Oh, that worked. Right, I'll get this bit cut off. and then I need to make a cut along that side. Well, that's the blow. I thought that the camera was recording. It made the I'm recording noises. I went to cut it, turn it off, recording, after I'd done that bit, and it's frozen. It's just overheating. Again, that's the problem with these action cameras. They're just overheating in this heat. And the extra bit we've got that surrounds the camera so that we can use these microphones also insulates it, so yeah. Anyway, let's see if it'll fit. The camera's in the shade, it always was, but I'm hoping it'll keep on working, and then we'll see if I messed it up. If I have, I'll try not to swear. It's literally just a fit. Oh. What have I done wrong? Oh, I haven't done anything wrong. Okay, I just need to trim a little bit more off and then it'll go. Well, I'm going to be totally honest. I got it nearly right, and then I've just pushed it into place and I snapped the board. And it's the only board I've got. I'm not going out and buying a full piece of board, just this little bit. So look, so I've put a piece of wood there to span it out to hold it, because it just snapped and I broke that corner off, and I don't have any more of that size, so I'll have to deal with that. It'll look alright when it's done. Yeah, and I don't understand why, but this has got flex in it, this board, so if I hold it right it works, but it drops down, so I don't know. I'm going to fix it. Yeah, it's nice to be honest in these sort of videos, isn't it? Right, I'm going to find a strip to put in there just to fill it, and then do something with that corner. And the next time you see this, I'll be putting the pasty stuff on. I'm going to have to try and make it work. If the worst comes to the worst, we'll get this end of this year and get all the plasterboard down and redo it. Get somebody in to do it who knows what they're doing. And there you go, it's all done. Looks perfect from here. Isn't it? Not so good from here. Hang on, what's it look like from the other side? Oh yeah, that looks absolutely brilliant. So what I'll do tomorrow, I'm watching my treading, is I'll get some filler. I'm a bit close, I know, but there you go, how's that? So tomorrow, what I shall do is I've got some plaster in the box. It's more of a filler, but it is actually plaster, Escaola. And I will run the layer over that, which should then get rid of the height difference. Hang on, if I can hold you a bit better. There you go. The height difference there and there. And so I'll just do the whole lot. And that, hopefully, will be it. So, this is it. Escaola. It's only a cheap one from a DIY shop. But I've got this bowl because it's the only clean one I've got. And I clean it out again anyway. It's got some blue dye, whatever that is, I don't know. Here we go, I'm going to get started. We've had rain today. Well, last night and this morning. Crikey, it's muggy now. It's mixed. It's good consistency. I'm hoping I've got enough. Let's see how it goes on with this first. I don't want it on too thick, but I do have a thingy bob one, a wide one like you use on cement and concrete and that. I think that'll be my best bet. Right, let's see how it goes. I'm actually now thinking I might not have put enough water in it. No, I haven't. Come on, fill that gap. No. Okay, right, I better get it off and get some more water mixed into it because that's wrong. It said mix and leave 5 minutes. I mixed and left it about 2. Okay, right, obviously not enough water. Right, get some more in. It's not perfect at all. However, I think it'll work. I think it'll be fine. It certainly looks better than a dirty grey hole. So, got to clean a little bit of the wall, and that little bit there, and that's that all done. Leave it to go dry, and hopefully it'll be ready for painting tomorrow. There you have it. First coat on. I'd watered it down. Obviously you do, to put the first coat on. It says 3 to 4 hours, and then you can apply a second coat. I'll leave it till later on this afternoon, give it more than 4 hours, and then I should put a second coat on there. And then what I've noticed is that it's not the same white as this white, even though I painted it the other day, or a week or so ago now, 2 weeks. The reason being is because I'd run out of the other paint, and I went and got some more, exactly the same brand, the same colour, everything, obviously different batch number. So it's not quite the same, it doesn't match. It may go more like this once it's dried, because I've only just finished it. If not, then I'll just paint the whole ceiling and then it'll be fine. Right, there's not a lot else I can do today now, apart from a bit more painting. Everything else is ready for the caves to have a spring clean, would you say? Or summer clean? Complete clean through anyway. I will have to gut the kitchen and then put all the cutlery, crockery and everything in the dishwasher because it's been sat for a long time, so I want it all nice and clean. Obviously you do. So that's another job, but there's nothing else really to do now. So I'll come back and sort that later on and hope that it blends better. If not, the rest of the ceiling will get done. So it's the day before the guests arrive. I'm going to put lights on because I'm a bit in the dark. There you go. And I'd left what I'm doing today until today, which sounds a bit stupid, but in my brain it was going to be today and tomorrow morning up until mid-afternoon, so I had plenty of time. The guests have actually requested now that they can come earlier because they're travelling a long way, and yeah, they've got baggage and things like that they would like to drop off. So of course we said yes. It's not a problem because there's nobody here today, obviously, other than me and the dogs, but that means I've lost half a day, so I better be cracking on. So what I've done, all this side of the caves, cave 2 as we call it, is all done. Bedding is made up and then back into vacuum bags. The covers are still on the beds, dust covers and everything, so that in the morning I can just come straight in, take the covers off the beds and put the bedding on. The bedding is all nice and freshly washed, and we use a neutral wash powder or washing solution or whatever it is. Anyway, Lillian gets the correct one, so that it is neutral, so potentially anybody who has maybe allergies, skin things, like my daughter, she can only use certain wash powders, otherwise they bring her out in a rash. I don't know, it's never affected me, so I'm aware there are people out there like that, so that's what we've done. Washed everything in the most neutral washing solution possible, so it's nice and clean, and it has a little bit of a scent but not a lot. So we want, in the morning, we'll get everything out of the vacuum bags and laid straight onto the beds, and then they'll smell nice and clean. So, right, I've mopped through all this. Cave 2, polished everything, everything's all set. Now I need to go to cave 1. And the last job today will be both bathrooms and mopping these floors, so that when they're done I can just walk straight out and close the doors behind me, and it's all spot on. I've also still got to do the kitchen, but that's already clean. Ah, that's the other side done. I don't know if you can see the sheen from here. If I turn the light on, you won't see it. So, all done in here. Next I'm going to do the kitchen, and last the bathrooms, because the sun's coming round onto the kitchen now, so it's going to be a bit hot and toasty in there if I'm not careful. Now, it's always a thing with us, always, something always goes wrong. I was in here in the kitchen, and I was getting some hot water from the mop bucket. I'd already done it once for the other side and it worked fine. I did it again for hot water for the other side, and that thing's gone bad. It took a bit of going before it went, and then all of a sudden it went, and had flames come out of here, flames come out of there and there. Oh. So obviously immediately I turned the water off and turned the gas off. In 24 hours I've got somebody coming to stay, and I'm going to hope to be able to use this kitchen. Lillian's contacted them and said, we've got a problem with the gas heater, literally just for the kitchen. So that's very inconvenient, very annoying. I can't get anybody out. I just can't get it replaced in time. Absolutely devastated. It is what it is. Hopefully the people that are renting won't be that bothered. Lillian's will also say to them that don't worry about any washing up, cleaning or anything that would involve hot water from the sink here. We'll do it. They're only here for 2 days, and if they need things washing, they'll just have to let me know, and I'll get them washed and brought straight back down to them. That's the only thing I can do. I know these things happen, but and I was stood right near it as well. I was stood here. That's how close. So happy. Well, yeah, so grateful, should I say, that it happened to me and not to people that are potentially going to be renting. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know anything about them. And as I say, can't get anybody out to look at it. The guests have been. I'm gone. Hopefully they had a good time and the caves were all alright. Yeah, it was awesome. There was an issue with the heater, water heater, and they said that was fine, it was okay as long as everything else was all there and working. So we gave them a discount which is only fair and only right. Still obviously waiting for the plumber to come. He'll have a look, either be able to repair or condemn the boiler. Hopefully it'll be a repair, but if it's dangerous, then it's got to be condemned and got to be changed. The only other thing that was a kind of an issue, although it wasn't really, was the dogs. The dogs were just up here. Unfortunately, a couple of them were a bit nervous of big dogs. So yeah. And they asked if the dogs could get down, and I said no. And they explained that they were a little bit nervous about big dogs. So I addressed that immediately. Got the dogs back in. There was no barking or real negativeness from the dogs. They were just sort of like wagging their tails. Oh, people. But yeah, so that's something else to keep in mind. It's all learning for us. I'm going to get all the caves all tidied up and get the bedding off the beds and get them washed and reset everything.